Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. I'm excited to introduce our topic, Mega Goal 2.1, Unit 6, Going Green Writing. This is the first slide, so I'll keep it brief. We'll explore how to write effectively about going green and the importance of sustainability. We'll cover key concepts, strategies, and tips to help you communicate your ideas clearly and persuasively. Let's get started. Welcome to this part of the presentation, where I'll be walking you through the lesson objectives. First, we want to clearly explain the key points of this topic thoroughly, but in a way that feels conversational and easy to follow. It's important to highlight the most critical concepts so they stand out and stick with you. And of course, we'll connect these points to the overall theme of the presentation, helping us see the bigger picture. By the end of this, you should have a solid understanding of what we're covering and why it matters. Let's take a closer look at the concept of scanning. When we scan a package or product, one of the first questions we should ask ourselves is whether it can be recycled. This helps us make more sustainable choices. Next, it's important to consider what the packaging is made of, whether it's plastic or natural materials. Understanding this can influence how we dispose of it and whether it's environmentally friendly. We should also ask if the packaging actually protects the product inside. Good packaging safeguards the product during transport and handling, but it shouldn't be excessive or wasteful. Now, looking at the pictures on the slide, what do you see? Notice the different types of packaging, their materials, and design features. These images help us identify key factors that impact recycling, protection, and sustainability. Recognizing these details is crucial as we think about making smarter, more eco-conscious choices in packaging. All right, let's take a closer look at this slide. Here, we have a few items: canisters, a burlap bag, and the numbers 3, 2, 1. These elements are quite symbolic in our process. The canisters likely represent storage or containers used during the operation. The burlap bag suggests packing or transportation, often used for organic or raw materials. The numbers 3, 2, 1 could indicate steps in a sequence or stages in a process. Together, these visuals emphasize the importance of proper handling and sequencing in our workflow. They remind us that each step, from storing materials in canisters to packing them in burlap bags, needs to be carefully planned and executed in the correct order. This connection ties back to our overall theme of efficiency and precision in our operations. Paying attention to these details helps ensure everything runs smoothly and safely. So, as we move forward, keep these key concepts in mind. Proper storage, careful packing, and following the right sequence are essential for success. Yes, they are. This confirms that the subject we're discussing indeed meets the criteria or conditions we've set. Next, we have yes, he does. This indicates that the individual, or possibly a third person, performs the action or behaves in the way we've described. Then, yes, it does. This points to an object or a concept that also fulfills the particular requirement or function. Now, moving on to the numbers 3, 2, 1, these are often used to signify a countdown or a sequence, perhaps building anticipation or indicating a step-by-step process. Together, these points highlight the importance of affirmation and certainty in our communication, and they tie back to the overall theme of clarity and confidence in how we express or verify information. Each affirmation reinforces understanding, which is crucial in ensuring we're all on the same page. All right, now let's look at how passive forms are used in writing. They help present information or facts in a way that feels more objective and detached. This means we're focusing on the information itself, rather than who is doing the action. Moving on to some examples with conjunctions and linking words. Words like but and on the other hand are useful for connecting ideas and creating contrast between different clauses. For example, you might say, many products are invested in packaging as a way of making the product more attractive, but we are not sure it is always effective. Notice how the combined clauses give a clearer picture of the situation. Also, pronouns like we, I, and it are often used in passive constructions to refer to the subject indirectly. This helps maintain an objective tone and keeps the focus on the action or idea rather than the person performing it. So, in summary, passive forms combined with linking words and pronouns allow us to express facts and ideas more neutrally, which is really useful in presenting information objectively. All right, let's dive into slide 7. As you can see, the slide features a sequence of numbers, 1, 2, 3, and some keywords. What's really interesting here is how this sequence illustrates the shift in perspective or responsibility. When we start with we, it emphasizes teamwork, collaboration, and shared responsibility. It's about collective effort and how working together can lead to better outcomes. Then, as we move to I, it highlights individual accountability or personal initiative. This progression is important because it mirrors the overall theme of our presentation, balancing teamwork with personal responsibility. Recognizing when to rely on the team and when to take ownership ourselves is crucial for success. So the numbers 1, 2, 3 serve as a reminder of this sequence, first focusing on collective effort, then honing in on personal action. It's a simple but powerful way to visualize how our roles evolve depending on the situation. And that's the core takeaway here. Understanding when to collaborate and when to lead individually is key to achieving our goals effectively. To improve our waste management, one effective strategy is to provide larger bins, which helps keep the area cleaner and more organized. Increasing the frequency of waste collection is also crucial, as it prevents overflow and littering. We should encourage the use of larger pins or bins to accommodate more waste without spilling over. Educating people about proper waste sorting is essential too. When everyone understands how to separate recyclables from trash, recycling becomes much more effective. Providing specific recycling bins for items like cardboard makes it easier for everyone to participate in recycling efforts. Promoting the use of reusable packaging, especially in businesses, can significantly reduce waste generated from single-use containers. Encouraging the recycling of cardboard boxes is another key point. Reusing and recycling these boxes helps cut down on waste. Shifting towards reusable packaging overall is a sustainable move that benefits the environment in the long run. However, if we neglect these efforts, we often see issues like loose boxes and litter, which contribute to overflowing garbage. This overflow not only looks unsightly, but also attracts pests and causes environmental pollution. By implementing these strategies collectively, we can create cleaner, more sustainable spaces and promote responsible waste management practices. When you're writing a formal letter of complaint, it's important to follow a clear set of steps to ensure your message is effective and professional. First, start with a polite greeting and clearly state the reason for your complaint right at the beginning. This helps set the tone and informs the reader immediately about the purpose of your letter. Next, describe the issue in detail, providing specific facts and examples to support your case. Be factual and avoid emotional language, as this maintains professionalism. Then, express how the situation has affected you or your experience, making it clear why resolving this matter is important. After that, suggest a reasonable solution or ask for a specific action to be taken. This shows you're looking for a constructive resolution. Finally, close your letter politely, thanking the recipient for their time and attention, and sign off professionally. Remember, following these steps ensures your complaint is clear, respectful, and more likely to result in a positive outcome. This process ties back to our overall theme of effective communication, being clear, respectful, and professional in all our interactions. On this slide, I want to walk you through an example that highlights a common environmental issue in many neighborhoods: overflowing garbage bins. Imagine receiving a letter from a concerned resident, Khalid Saad, addressing local authorities about this problem. He points out that the current bins are often too small to handle the amount of waste generated, which results in overflow. This overflow not only looks unpleasant, but also causes bad odors and attracts pests, creating health and hygiene concerns. To solve this, He suggests providing larger bins or adding more bins to better manage the waste. Additionally, he recommends that the local council increase the frequency of waste collection, so bins are emptied more often. This example underscores the importance of proper waste management and community involvement in maintaining a clean environment. It ties back to our overall theme of proactive measures needed to improve urban living conditions. By addressing these issues, we can create healthier, more pleasant neighborhoods for everyone. All right, for this final slide, let's look at the workbook exercise, specifically exercise M on page 282. This is a great opportunity to reinforce what we've covered today. I encourage you to approach this exercise thoughtfully, applying the concepts we've discussed. Remember, the key points are to analyze the scenarios carefully, identify the main issues, and think about how the strategies we've learned can be applied. Doing this will help solidify your understanding and prepare you to use these skills in real-world situations. So, take your time, and when you're finished, review your answers to see how well they align with the principles we've discussed. This practice is essential for mastering the material and connecting everything we've learned today.